Hello, how we doing, guys? Welcome to another stream. So just before we get started, I want to just make sure that the audio is fine and nothing crazy is happening again. So let me just take a look at see who's in the chat. See if we've got any of the regulars. Um, yeah, let's see who's around. Have a little chat just before we get started. Awesome. We already have a like. So let's see who's in the chat. So if you just come join in, if you've just joined the live stream, just say hi in the chats so we know you're there. And if there's anything weird with the audio, do let me know, guys. I'll just drop a little message into our little Discord team so everyone knows. Cool. Yeah, if there's any issues with the oh, hello Mario. If there's any issues with the audio, guys, just let me know, and then I can take it from there onwards. Do you hear any weird fan noise in the background, like the fan that I have to keep the laptop cool, or do you hear any echoing? I just want to make sure that's not happening. So if it is, I'll fix it straight away. So do let me know. There's no issues. We can go straight into this. All right, I'm going to get started. Just let me know in the chat if there's any weird noise or fan or echoing noise that's happening from me. But cool, let's do this. So, of course, we are going to be continuing with the... So, okay. For those of you that have just tuned in, welcome to Body Mechanics Masterclass Part 8. And last time, we've basically got the animation from frame 1 to 60 done. But like from frame 31 to 60, we've managed to, well, I've managed to get like the upper body from the torso all the way to the chest and get all the legs kind of pretty much done. So the fan is there, but it's okay. Cool, let's try this. Let's try that. Hopefully, is this a bit better? Let me know. Hopefully, this is a little bit more better. It's not as loud. So yeah, I'm going to be taking over from where I left off last time. I'll have a quick play just to play this so we can see where we left off. He's breathing, he's doing his stuff, steps back, goes into all that kung fu stuff, which is great fun. Okay, so where were we? I think I said frame 28 is a nice place to leave this. And then I can go for this dodging and then coming back up to like frame 60. Cool. So I'll continue from where I left off. Let's pinpoint frame 60. Yep, better. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so frame 28. Let's go straight into it and not waste any time. Oh, and I do have a little information to let you guys know. I'm going to be doing, just to let you know from now on, I do lots of like 2 live streams and a video and a shorts per week sometimes, but I want it to be more consistent so you guys know every week when things are happening. So I was thinking on Wednesdays, we'll have live streams from now on. I'll do the tomorrow's animation review as well, but the following week, every Wednesday, we're going to have a live stream at 6 p.m. And every Friday, 2 days later, you'll have a video where you can watch. It'll be uploaded in the morning. So every Wednesdays will be live streams and every Fridays will be videos on the video section of the channel. So that way, you know, every Wednesday and Friday, Fatih has something for you guys. And shorts will just be clips of, you know, the stuff that I work on. Cool. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys to know. So you heard it here first. Cool. All right. So we're dodging, we're doing all that stuff. So I worked on the legs last time, the feet, the adjustments, the small little clips and stuff like that, which I think really does help with what Jackie's doing. And we had some figuring out, if you remember, around this section over here, where Jackie's leg comes out of frame around 47 to 8. I had to kind of like figure stuff out based on what his hips and kneecaps are doing. So that's kind of stuff that you might come across when you're in a studio working, or if your reference is kind of out of frame a little bit. Cool. All right. So now I want to go in there. Let's go back into, I want to first save and version up, because now I'm starting a new scene. Well, new scene as in like continuing the shot. Maya files. Let's go to Maya files here. Let's go to version 6. And today I'll be focusing on the shoulders, bicep area, forearms, and neck and head. So hopefully we can get that out the way up until this point here. I think I'll work with the head first. Yeah, I'll do the head first. That way I'll just have the arms left afterwards. And like I said, any questions regarding this, let me know. Anything outside of the shot, just keep your questions for the end, and I will definitely get back to those as well. So, as you can see, the longest part is the beginning. Once I start moving stuff around, it's go, go, go. All right, so let's start moving stuff again. So I want to change this into a graph editor. So obviously, I want to see what's happening with the body. And now I'm focused mainly on the neck. I want that neck to be overlapping with what the torso is doing, like the upper part of the body. I can't see the neck. There we go. That's it. Cool. So around here, it's going to be pretty important. And I'll probably have some keys that I don't have any motion on. So for example, I'm looking at what Jackie's neck is doing. There, he's leaning back. I would assume the neck is going to start rotating back. So what is it? Is it X, Z, Y, Z? There we go. I always move it around, guys, like this. Oh yeah, that's it. That's what I was looking for. It's just a little double check. Okay, so because he's going to lean backwards to dodge this, right? There. I'm splining, but it's impossible to put every single information in there when you're blocking, guys, especially in stepped. You put as much as you can, but now I'm in polish, and small things like this, I can just go, oh, what's happening with his neck? Okay, that body's moving back, so obviously the head and the body, or should I say the head and the neck, will be leaning back as well. There, that part, he does lean forward a little bit. But I'm looking at the blocking now to make sure, like I'm looking at this part of his neck, that little line that we have there, to kind of gauge how much he is actually leaning back. So it has to be readable as well, or enough at least. And even around here, I think it would be much more lower as well. There. Maybe he is around there still. Yeah, he's still around there. Okay. So I'm just focused on the right to left rotation. So if I was to look at you, I'm looking at this way. I'm working on one axis at a time. And it's just kind of like one of my key things to focus on. Like always work in, like simplify the shot. When you start breaking things down, see there, it looks, I can see that his head is going through this actual, like the turtle shell. So I'm going to have to go into a different perspective or different rotation and try to fix that a little bit. And you know, like Jackie might be able to do that, like that head rotation. This might be correct, but he doesn't have a shell. So now I'm going to have to tweak what we have to make that work for Mikey, the Ninja Turtle. So I'm going to have to pull this up a little bit, and maybe the head rotation as well. I was going to get to the head a little bit later on, but there's such a big collision with the head and, what do you call it, the shell, that I'm going to have to start tweaking this area from now. No, that's too much. Let's go for this rotation. Yeah, he's looking away. See? We can add that in there as well. And even there, he's tilted away from us. I can do this. Let's do a Z rotation. Nope, it's probably an X. There's a bit of a gimbal lock happening there, because this guy is back and forward, and XZ is a back and forward as well. That's basically telling me there's a gimbal lock. So I want to smooth this out. And you remember what we said last time about fixing gimbal locks? It's basically when I don't want to get into it again. I explained last time, so you guys should be aware. I'm not explaining gimbal lock every part we have. So gimbal lock is happening. It's literally all the simple way of saying it is all the rotations are all jumbled up like spaghetti. So we want to fix that. And if you want a detailed version of that, go to the previous part 7 where I was fixing it. I gave a detailed explanation of that. So Euler filter, that should now in theory, when I do this, like all the rotations should be going in their own little ways. So this is backwards and forwards. The side to side, great. And don't say backwards and forwards. Okay, so we need to change the rotation order. Go here, select this rotation order, and you see where it says best? At the moment we're on XYZ, we need to go all the way down to XZY, which gives us the best rotation order. Very quickly, it saves out the motion you have, creates a locator, bakes that onto the head, saves that, changes the rotation order, bakes it out, gets rid of the locator. That's the detailed version of it, but if you want the Disney Mickey Mouse very happy quick version of it, click this button, it fixes it. There we go. So it just fixes your rotation order and puts it to the best one you need for that motion. That's I've given you two quick versions. So for the one that's detailed, you might need to go back to catch up on what I just said. So now look side to side, amazing. And this one is go away, left to right, great, and this should be up and down. Awesome. So the X and the Z is not doing the same motion. So now when I go here, see how this looks a bit weird? It shouldn't be doing that. So you're leaning that way. Yep, great. That should continue the lean. Look at Jackie's head. It's away from us towards these, like this, the background. There we go. And I would assume he continues that motion like this. And then as he comes over here, I would say he's still probably doing this. Potentially. I'll see what it looks like. Before I change stuff, I'll put some more keys just so I can put some more information. Over here, he starts to twist his head away. So I would start favoring this bit a bit more now. Okay. I think I can't see it, so I'm going to scroll through the time slider. There. Yeah, like Jackie is looking at the ground more than Mikey is over here. Jackie and Mikey. I think that it's coincidence. I didn't plan this. It rhymes though. So keep his head lower, which is what Jackie Chan's doing. Don't raise it up just yet. Keep it lower again. There's some head going through the shell, but I'm not too worried about that. We could do maybe like a polish pass towards the end. And then he raises his head. If I'm repeating myself, if the collision between the geometry of the head and the shell or other parts of the body is crazy big, then I'll fix it now because it's a pose. If it's very small and I want to get the motion in now, I'll leave it towards the very end, and we'll do like a high detail polish pass of, think of it like tech anim. It's what we would call like a tech pass in animation studios. You'll do your animation, the blocking spline polish will get approved, and in the end you'll do like a polish tech pass, which is basically the supervisor has approved your shot, the client's happy with it, and now you're going in there making sure, like if my character's grabbing a pencil, it feels connected and there's no fingers going through the pen or like through the body, you know, that kind of stuff. So we'll do that as well. This is a masterclass, so I'm gonna get you guys going. Like I'll show you guys the whole process. Okay, cool. I think the head looks fine now. For the rotation, I'm gonna go back in for the neck. Nope, he's still looking that way. This is too much. He's still looking that way. Let's see. Oh, and on the previous video, guys, I know you can even do it now. So for part 7 in the comment section, I think I left like a little pinned message. If you want me to do a Spider-Verse style animation, leave it in the comments. I want like maybe 5 comments at least. If I get 5 comments on Body Mechanics Masterclass part 7 in the comment section, if I get like 5 comments saying, yeah, let's do a Spider-Verse thingamajig, I will do a dedicated Spider-Verse style animation. There's some really cool rigs out there, so it'll give me a chance to test it out as well. Cool. All right, so we're getting that head in motion. Let's grab the neck and tweak the neck, and I think we should be close to this. Now we've still got some more keys in there, but I don't want to just I want to make sure it's doing the right motion. So let's do this forwards and backwards motion first. He's leaning forward, 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 forward. Yeah, around 48 is the furthest he'll go. So let's just say that. Because from there onwards, he should be like raising his head back up. So let's do that. I'm always looking at the reference to understand what's really happening rather than making cool curves. There, he's still leaning forward. That's too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of this and pull back. So I'm going to use a scale tool. There, pull back, 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 back. There we go. His head is in place now. But I want to see in perspective as well. Is it what's really happening here? So rotate Y. We need to get this. Nope. Rotate X. Yeah, I think that's a bit more better. Not too sure. Okay. Thanks for okay, awesome. Yeah. Tell me about it. Cool. We've got some more people in the chat. So I'll take a. What I'll do, guys. I'll finish off the neck and then I'll start getting to answering your questions as well. So just hang with me for 2 seconds. I'd like to get a little bit out of the way, and then maybe every 20 minutes I'll stop to kind of answer your questions, because we've still got like the arms and whatnot to go through. Cool. All right. So oh, there's a big stretch around here with the neck. I think I've gone a bit too far. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it might be a translation as well. Yeah, there we go. Translations. There we go. Let's get rid of these translations. I want to see how it looks like without that. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let's not use translations. Let's just keep it organic, because the moment I used it there to try get the pose I wanted, but I'm always going to revert back to just rotations on the neck to get that head out the way from like colliding with the oh, there we go. See, the more I rotate, the closer he gets to what it is over there. And let's look at this from this angle. Yeah, there we go. I mean, it's still connected, like it's still clashing a little bit. After I fix this, but I'm going to move this kneecap away from the face, so you know he doesn't like slam his face into his kneecap. There, that's nice. Well, nicer. It's a bit better. Cool. How's that fan noise? Hopefully it's not too loud. I've put it back on because laptop's on fire. All right, I'll take a mini break and see what you guys are saying in the chat. Cool. All right. If you just joined, please hit the like. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see. So we have Mario says, thanks for the reminder. Left the reply in your pinned comment section. Yep, awesome. I'll take a look a little bit later on. Yep, anyone that wants to see the Spider-Verse tutorial, or not tutorial, demo that I'm going to do, or you want me to do, go to part 8 of the Body Mechanics Masterclass and just leave a little comment just to tell me, hey, I'd like to do this. Cool. Let's see. That was for Mario. And Ilhom says, tell me about your pen settings, what hotkeys you have set. I have trouble with the pen. I'm good with the mouse. You know what, Ilhom? I used to use the mouse to animate, well, keyboard and a mouse to animate for like, how long? Since 2009 to 2018, like for 10 years. And the animator next to me was using a pen, just a Wacom pen. And I found it really weird until I was clicking the buttons so many times. I had repetitive strain injury on my hand and wrist, like it was just aching. I think it was on Lion King. I just had to do so many shots. And he recommended, hey, like use a pen. And honestly, it was really painful for like 2 days. The third day, I got used to it because I couldn't animate. I had to try something differently. And let me tell you, I would not go back to using a mouse. When I was using the mouse, if I could compare now, I'm so much faster using a pen. I don't have any special settings, if I'm going to be honest. It just feels like I used to draw 2D animation like this, and then I went on to click mouse and hitting the keyboard, which felt weird. And using a pen and animating with a pen is something like in between. It feels like I'm grabbing parts of a puppet and moving it with my hand, if anything. So I don't have any settings to recommend. What I do recommend is I'm using like a basic Wacom tablet that I'm using with this to move stuff around in Maya. So when I'm moving my mouse like this, I mean my cursor, I'm just moving my pen on my tablet. So just buy a cheap one. Don't get a really expensive one. Get a really cheap one. Test it out. If you like it, great. Maybe you can upgrade afterwards. But I think I have like a I don't know what the dimensions are. Maybe I'll put it down at the end of this workshop in the comment section. But it's like an A4 size, medium size. Sorry, it's the medium Wacom Intuos Pro. So that's the one I'm using, and I find it useful. Pen settings, nothing. Hotkeys. I don't have hotkeys, if I'm being honest. My favorite script is Windows Play Blast. Oh, actually, on the keyboard, I do use like stuff like this. Translate, rotate, scale. Those three, mainly like these two. These two I use a lot. So it's the W and the E. And besides that, sometimes I'll click this, the space bar. It'll go into perspective. Oh, let me move stuff around. Oh, hold on, I want to go back into animating. That. I use those kind of hotkeys, if you will, but they're not hotkeys for that I've created it. They're automatically in Maya. So I use those sometimes. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Cool. I'll jump back into animating and yeah, let me know. Let me know if there's no weird background noise, guys. I don't want it to ruin your experience of listening to me animate. All right, let's continue. So Mike does that dodge. I'm looking at his head. There, the head starts to rise up. Yeah, we need to start rising the head and the body a little bit here. Using this. There, it rises up quite a bit. Let's grab the neck. I should really use the texture manager to sort the textures out for this character, because it does help seeing the textures in a 3D model. In 2D, it doesn't really matter too much. Well, I mean, 2D you just animate in black and white, really, don't you? There, over here, the head needs to go up, or like the body needs to start going up. So that's this. So I'm still noticing stuff from the hips over here. Yeah, this is a bit more like that. Yeah, I feel that a bit more now. Yeah, I need to work on this section just a little bit more. Let me know your thoughts on the masterclasses. What's your thoughts so far? Has it been useful? Have you guys found it helpful? Like, not everything that I do here is going to be something that you turn around and say, oh, everything Fart is doing is working, because it's not. Because everyone's a different type of animator. And that's the awesome part of it. When I see one of my friends animating completely different to me, I go, oh my god, you did that like that? I never thought of that. Me saying that like so many times. But the one thing that is like consistent is the feedback. So the notes that you get to improve your shots is not going to change. So obviously it's very subjective animation. However, if there's body mechanics related notes that are gonna, body mechanics is body mechanics. It's just basically physics of how your character moves. And for those of you that really like Spider-Verse, there's that show is just full body mechanics. Like body mechanics is not. I'm gonna go off on one and have a little chat about body mechanics. Like some students actually think, oh, body mechanics boring. I need to make my character move. But the thing is, in animation, no matter what your character's doing, he or she or it is always moving. So for you to be able to do an acting shot, your body mechanics needs to be good. For you to be able to do an action shot, your body mechanics, again, guess what? Needs to be good. You want to work on Spider-Man, Spider-Verse? Well, the supervisor who's hiring you will be looking at your shot, or your demo reel, and saying, well, it's kind of okay, but like the body mechanics ain't great. But then you'll be thinking, hold on a minute. But like my acting's amazing. That's awesome. But you're acting to be very, very good or like on a certain level. Think of it this way. You need to be able to have body mechanics to do any kind of shot you want. If you do a nice acting shot and your body mechanics aren't there, you're limiting yourself. You're doing, it's like, this animator or this student has very nice performance ideas, but the animation is not quite there yet. And when they say the animation, if we were to break it down, it's body mechanics. It's how the character moves. Are you applying the 12 principles? That's what that is. So for me, from like fundamentals to body mechanics to advanced body mechanics, is basically learning how to make your character move, like animate it to a good level, if you were to think of it. And all that facial and body acting and stuff is basically, you can make your character move to a good level. Now you tell some stories with it. That's the difference. It doesn't mean like your body mechanics is amazing, so you're a games animator with just punching and kicking. No, that's not it. It just means you can animate well now. Like your character feels like they're moving, like it's believable. That's literally it. Cool. All right. Show which button to press. Okay, let's see what's being said in the chat. Ilom says it would be very useful for us if you could write a program that will show which button. Write a program? What do you mean, Ilom? Write a program? You mean like script something? Or do you mean like make a video on YouTube to show which buttons were pressed? So hold on, it would be very useful for us if you could show... Oh, you mean like what buttons I'm pressing while I'm doing this? So like these navigation stuff is basic. So I would just say like play around with it. So the navigation is moving like this, rotating, and zooming. Those are the three main navigations for when you're moving stuff around in Maya, that I use at least. So it's basic controls for navigation, which is rotate around the character, zoom in and out, and pan. So rotation, pan, zoom in and out, and like the spacebar is doing this, coming in and out of your shot. There should be an add-on for that. Yes, Blend has one. Don't see why not. Why evidence? Right. Oh, you mean okay. So you mean like a video? Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe. Thanks for the suggestion. Maybe that's something that I can think of doing, like little tips for navigations and stuff. But this stuff that I do, I honestly, like, I think like a 2D animator in CG. I use minimal amounts of stuff that get me to do what I want to do. If I need to do more technical stuff, then yes. But I would just say play around with the navigation, what works for you, and all this stuff that I come in and out, or just stuff that I've kind of figured out and that works for me. But yeah, I could consider like having something like that. Cool. All right, let's go back into this because we're like almost halfway already, and I want to get this done. So the head is doing that. It goes back up. All right, cool. So let's get the neck. I've been doing more chatting on this stream than I ever have. You guys are chatting to me constantly, which is good. I do like the engagement and community. Okay, so let's go there. All right, I want to finish off this part now. So the head goes up. Yeah, but Jackie is still leaning backwards, so we need to go onto the X, Z axis. This one here. See how over here he's leaning backwards? There. Yeah, I want to continue that. So I don't want him to get up so quick. I want to delay that a little bit. So let's grab this one. Yeah, maybe around there. What kind of animation are you guys into? Just let me know in the chat. Like, what's your favorite kind of style? Don't say arcane, because everyone says arcane. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of my friends in the industry have said, oh, watch Arcane, Arcane's amazing. Then when I did that review for the first time, I was like, okay, this is kind of, I should have watched this a long time ago. Because I just love, I mean, I'm a very anime kind of animator, if that makes sense. So when I saw that, I was thinking, oh, hold on, this is basically anime in CG. Why haven't I watched this? And then my friends are like, we've been telling you. And I'm like, huh, really? I've been listening to you guys, but I've not noticed that. All right, let's work on the shoulders. So I'm looking at Jackie's shoulders. The right one goes down and then up. So let's add that. There. See that big drop on this screen right shoulder? There. Let's get that down. And then it goes up over one frame. Then it goes up. Yep, that's what we got. And then let's see. I can't see, so I want to scroll. Okay, there's some stuff happening here that we need to add. I can't just do like backwards and forwards. So the shoulders go up, down, back up. Yeah, there's a few things happening there. So it's not as simple as just leave it there. So if I'm looking at his shoulder, it goes up, down. Around here, it goes down. Then around there, he pushes his elbows forward. There. That would mean his shoulders go back up. Even though it's a small thing, it's happening, you know? And then I can choose to push it as much as I want. So around here, what's happening? There, it goes back down. Yeah, something like this. And then, no, and then. There, I'm seeing the shoulders go back up. So, we grab the shoulders, raise them up, there. This is the moment where it goes to the lowest point, and then we start to rise back up again as he brings both arms up. So, when you're raising your hands up or down, your shoulders will always follow that as well. Unless it's just kind of like on the spot. Cool. Groovy. Let's see. Alright, so that shoulder's done for the up and down. There's always going to be a rotation happening there as well. Do I want to leave the Y? No, it's okay. So there's always a Y as well. Not as in Y like a question Y. Rotation Y. There. When that fist goes forward, your shoulder would rotate screen left as well. So, like that. You know? So now I'm trying to see how much of that happens. So here he starts to move ever so slightly. Let's add that. There, he really goes forward. Let's push, push, push. And around here is the furthest I'll have. That's too much. Look, it looks broken. So I want to pull all this back. There. And then he pulls back. So we would pull this back naturally. At this point, he goes forward a little bit. And then he goes back. So. He needs to stay around there. Cool. All right. Screen right shoulder is done. Or ish. It's alive, guys. It's moving. I just noticed that screen left kneecap there. It just pops over one frame. I don't like that. But it just stays there and then pop. Let's fix that. because I'm responsible for this animation. It's this section here, look, it stays on the same spot and then pop over one frame. So let's just make that the transition a bit more better. So as he's turning, like it will start to move a little bit more there. So hopefully now it should feel a bit better. Cool. It's starting to move. It's alive. So let me see what's happening in the chat. Just make sure you guys are alright. I really do like splining and polishing. It's just so much fun. So all right, now let's go for the forearm. Well, no, let's go for the bicep first, this section. And let me save, because I think this is like midway through animating and I don't want to lose all the stuff that I just done. Get into a habit, by the way, of saving your work every like 10 to 15 minutes if you can. Maybe, I mean, you can, there's all these like, I think in the Maya settings and also in Animbot, there's an autosave that you can put. It's this one here. And it just automatically save for you if you want. But I just don't want it every 5 minutes. So I've gotten into a habit now of just regularly saving my work. And especially if you've done a couple poses fixed here and there, and you're thinking, I've done a bit of work, I don't want to lose this stuff, you know? So now let's go and look at the arms. So, okay, the arms go back, but before they go back, they must go forward ever so slightly. I can see over here, this arm goes forward ever so slightly. So that's rotation Z. Rotate Z, there we go. And look, I've added it there as well. It's going forward ever so slightly. Yeah, I have it in there. So all I have to do is click, done. Because I added that in my stepped phase of poses. That's the benefit you get when you actually put all that small motion there. It's just now that I'm in spline, I can see a bit more. That just needs to continue going for a little bit more. There. And then it goes back. Awesome. So there it goes back. I'm just measuring the amount that the arm is going back to this. Is it enough? I think we can push a bit more. There. That feels a bit more better. Then it goes forward. Nope. It needs to go forward. There, like that. And let's have this rotation here as well. Goes forward. Let's see. So it goes forward, forward. All right. Just need to continue that motion. I think it's like this now. It's difficult to see. It's such an old movie. Let's get these rotations out of this mode of stepped as well, because that doesn't really do any favors. Okay. There. It goes back, forward, back. So let's see. Over here, it goes forward, back, forward. Yeah. Forward, back. Yeah. I'm talking to myself, but I'm trying to make sure. Then it goes forward a little bit. Forward. Then it starts to go back. Nope, that's too much. Let's see if there's a weird Euler filter gimbal lock thing happening here, because Some of these aren't making sense. Let's go Euler filter. Nope. Let's go to the rotation order. We can go for the best. And now my curves should, in theory, make more sense. And let me know as well, guys, in the chat. I mean, if you're here, you clearly do like the streams, which is great. But what's your favorite in terms of streams or videos? Because over here, like, you get a chance to interact with me, speak to me, and ask some questions. But obviously, videos, I can focus because I'm talking right now, and it just allows me more time to, prepare stuff. So, do you have a favorite? Do you like the videos more than the streams, or do you prefer the streams? Because I noticed there's a bit of attention on the streams, like you guys show a bit more attention on the streams. Obviously, everyone's a bit more different. It's personal, I guess, right? Because if you're not available for the live streams, then I guess it just becomes a video that you just end up watching later. So try not to focus on the forearm. I'm just trying to get that bicep working, like this section working. Okay, it's there. There he swings his arm forward again. Okay, I need to go in there and do some poses. It's these really fast moves that you really need to be careful for. Because the motion of the arm is moving in one direction, then changes, then goes somewhere else. There. Let's smooth this out. All right, let's take a look at this one more time. So it goes forward, forward. I just want to focus on one. No, let's go gimbal mode. That way I can see the real rotations. There. Okay, you've done that. He comes back. I think that's a bit too quick though. This rotation needs to be a bit more like that. Yeah, that's too much. Hold on, I think it's the Y. Nope, that's too much. Look where the arm is. That drag. Let's pull this back a bit. See, I want this arm from here to feel like it's dragging past there a little bit. There, and then it goes up. Let's see what this looks like. Alright, we go forward, back, grab this pose, put it to 46, and we just go back a bit more. And then we go forward again. Wish I could just see the arms a bit more. Back a bit more. There, he goes up. Cool. I think that should be think. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going a little bit quiet, guys. I need to focus on this section just to see what's happening. Just trying to figure out like what the arm is doing around there. It goes back, back, up to there. Then it moves forward a little bit. There. And then there, it really pushes off there. Here, let's see where it goes. Okay. Drags a little bit. It really comes back, and it goes up. Well, let's see what that looks like for the bicep. Cool. All right. Let's get the forearm into play. All right. Let's answer some questions. In the meantime, it'll stop me from looking at the screen. All right. So Blender has done. No, okay. I'm just looking at what Mario's saying about the muscle memory stuff. Cool. Ilham says, which controllers do you start spline from and where do you end? So cog, spine, neck, head, arm. I think the first three. So Ilham, like when you go into spline, I would say the head, chest, and hips. So the cog being the body mover, the spine obviously the chest, and the head. The neck, not so important for now, because when you move the head and then the chest, those three, I would say the head, chest, and hips, or the cog, is the main ones that drive the whole body. Because imagine if you do some nice hand animation, but then afterwards you have to move the chest or the cog, all that overlapping action or the secondary animation you've done, or even the arcs, they kind of go all out the window, right? So you want to work with the head, hip, chest, and hips. Or when I say hips, the cog, because that's kind of moving around like this and doing stuff. So focus on those three and then work your way out. So work from like the head to the cog outwards to your shoulders, arms, hands, fingers. Because yeah, that's my kind of workflow of working through that part of the body. And yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Cool. All right. So you go there. I would expect the hand to be coming back out. As you go here, you continue that, and then you swing forward. Swing forward. This. As you come back, then it opens up, opens up, opens up. Well, closes up a little bit. Around here, I think the arm is still on the foot quite low. There. Something happening with the arm around here that I'm not too sure about. Let's see. We don't want that. Constantly want there. Nope. Nope. Let's see what this looks like. Feels a little bit, yeah, like poppy and clicky around here. Yeah, it goes back too much. This reach needs to be much more lower. Like when it's not supposed to swing forward, it's supposed to come downwards. I'm spending a lot of time here, but I would say this is quite important stuff. I was hoping to get this out of the way much more sooner, but yeah. We'll see, we'll get there, guys. Okay, this needs to be down, that's why. Because I'm reacting to this section there. That needs to be pretty close to one another. And then it just pops forward. We don't want that. Just keep it around there. I'm kind of using a bit more of my intuition rather than this bit now because I've got the poses that I want, but there's stuff happening that I can't see from the reference, so I need to use intuition. Trust yourself. Cool, let's see what this looks like. Hopefully, it should look a bit more better. It's just this moment here when he comes down that I'm feeling like some clicks and pops. Yeah, that feels a bit more. There we go. And I did it with no reference. I mean, I took it out of the reference first, but then the areas that I couldn't see, I just went in there and, you know. Because now it feels like he punches but then swings back out. Which is what I want. The other hand should be much more easier, because that one's not punching, it's just getting out of the way. And let's save. Oh my god, Ilon, so many questions. One question at a time. Cool, I'll leave some of those questions towards the very end, just before I finish. So let me do the other hand as well, the other arm as well. And I think we can go into that. So look, over here we have a dead moment. So many questions. Are you trying to squeeze all that information out of me so quickly? Cool. He goes back. Let's see. I can push this a bit more further ahead. There. Cool. All right, let's move on to this shoulder. And yeah, let's see what's happening here. So when he reaches forward, I see it on this shoulder here. I see some stuff happening. So I would expect if your arm goes forward, then your shoulder would be rotating forward as well, like that. Like this. There. That will be the biggest one. And then it comes back. So rotation the other way around. Pull this back. Yep, that's the most it goes to, and then it goes forward, right? Yep, there we go. This one should be much more easier because it's not doing much. It's only like getting out the way, and cleaning up this arm should be much more easier or quicker at least. No, this one's fine. I don't want to touch this. Once I've done all this, guys, I will go back in at the very end and just do like a beauty pass, which is, you know, just seeing if there's some weird clicks and pops. At the moment, I'm trying to get the main part of the spline out of the way. Does that. Pulls back. Like the arm is not doing what I want it to do there on that frame. So I will go grab the arm. Yeah, because there's no key here, right? It's probably supposed to do something like... Oh, there's probably a gimbal lock happening. Yep, there we go. Let me grab these guys. Spline that out. Let's use the Euler filter. Click. It's fixed it, but let's see if it's really fixed it. There. So if I grab this and move this up, I'm not too sure. Let's do the rotation order. I think I want to go for the best one possible. So while that's doing that, let's see how you guys are doing. Cool. Just to plug you in as well, tomorrow is the animation reviews, where I have 4 students showing me their shots, and I'm going to be reviewing it live, just like this, on a live stream. So yeah, if you have time, please do attend. If not, then yeah, you can always watch it back when you have some time, or maybe just. I guess you'd probably want to watch it rather than listen to it like a podcast, but it's up to you. Okay, there's some weird stuff happening there. Let's use this Hue filter. It cleaned it up. Amazing. Cool. All right. So first of all, let's use this arm going up first. Okay, where is it? It's there. Stretches forward. Comes back. I'm looking from here as well to see what the arm's doing. There, goes back more. Yeah, this is the correct one. This is not correct. Like, this doesn't feel right. This bit coming down is the part where we should be focusing on, because this tells me the arm is going here, in this direction. Why is it up so much? At that point, yeah, there's a weird gimbal happening here. That should be like this. You know? If you know, you know. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to do it up to here. That means these guys should be here. Hold on. If he's done the punch, pulled back, and then gone forward. You know what? I'll leave it there for now. I'll cross that bridge once I come to it. The arm goes back, 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 all the way there, slightly more back. This is like doing the shot correctly, because over here it tells me that the arm's gone back and then it needs to come forward around here maybe, but this is doing a double loop, like 180, 360-ish. And then it goes forward, it stays there, it starts to go forward. Around here would be this. This. That is the correct height, not that. So I'll bring these guys down. And then I think around here it kind of like goes back into where it should be. Let's bring this down. Let's go back. I'm looking at the elbow to where it is on the screen. So yeah, you might have blocked it and it looks fine. However, you might need to fix it up. This is too high. That's what we need. As soon as I'm done with this bit, guys, then we can take on questions. What's happening there? Oh, it's this one here. It's the green one. So let's do Euler filter. No, let's do... Well, I can fix that manually as well. That should be like this, maybe. Maybe. Is it? Is it supposed to be here? Let's go back. Let's go back to the rotation order. See if that's... No, this is the best one that we're using. Okay, so if the arm is there, and I rotate... Okay, cool. So it's supposed to come down, because it's rotating all the way around. That means this is the correct point. This is not. It's supposed to be like around here. There we go. And then I go to Z. Now I can bring it down. Rotate Y. There we go. We're getting close to it. I'm very big on making it correctly, like not just if you've got weird rotations happening and you just go, oh, okay, that's pretty close, I'll leave it there. But if you want to make small adjustments in the graph editor or just like small little tweaks, it's going to be near impossible to do that if you're just like cheating it to make it look right. There, we'll leave it there, and I'll keep the arm there again. Click. All right, let's see what this looks like, and I'll go for the forearm and hopefully wrap up. So that arm just gets out of the way. And yeah. What I might do is, oh no, I don't want to extend this masterclass to like 20 episodes. But I was just thinking maybe to have that bad guy in there as well to do something. But yeah, I'll think about it. Let me see what you guys are saying for questions. And I'll finish the forearm. Cool. So, what questions do we have? Ilham. Ilham, you're asking so many questions. What studio do you work for now? Can we see the studio's work? What do studios look like for when hiring animators? What advice would you give to people when you're young and starting out in animation? So, first and foremost, one question at a time. So it's great. It sounds like you're very passionate, which is amazing, Ilham. By the way, let me know if I'm saying your name correctly, so I don't want to mispronounce it. So, Ilham. So, what advice would you give to people who are young and just starting out in animation? So like my channel or maybe other animation channels. So I have a video called How to Become an Animator. So maybe check that out as well. There's lots of information there, but just very quickly, just to let you know. So I would say self-study. So you can either learn yourself by online materials like watching me animate, watching other animators animate, studying animated movies, clips, films that you like. So okay, awesome, good to know that I'm saying your name correctly. So like study, self-taught, learning yourself, just constantly trying, looking at tutorials, looking at other people animate. That's the first method. The second method is going to university or an education institution, so college, university, stuff like that, to learn from lecturers. That's the second option. The other two are basically going to an online animation school, like the I don't want to give the names, but like the online animation school. They have amazing instructors, and all of them. I actually teach on one of those. If you search me up, you'll find which one it is. So I'm an instructor for 2 classes in one of the online schools. So just look me up, you'll find where it is. That's the third option, to learn from animators that are currently working. And finally is, again, learning from an animator from an online school, like learning from an animator who's working in the industry, that's a professional, and learning directly from them. So rather than the online school, you learn from them. So for example, I give private animation lessons. So you can either learn from me from the online school, or you can learn from me in person. So you have 4 options. So you can learn on your own, go to university academically, learn from an online school, or learn from the instructor privately directly from them. So you have a few options. So they vary in price. University is a bit pricey, online schools are less, private instructors are less pricey. The best one, I think, because you learn directly from the instructor and it's the cheapest one you can get. If you don't want to pay anything and you want to learn yourself, amazing. It just depends on how much time you have. The only problem with that is you don't have any direction from, like, you don't have a professional guide to say, hey, these are the areas you need to improve and so forth. So yeah, they all have their positives and negatives, but it just depends on how fast you want to learn, how much you can commit financially, and how much time you can commit as well at the same time. So it completely depends on you. So that's to answer that question. And for the studios and stuff that I work, you can just look for me online, look at my animation reel, and you can just see me on LinkedIn as well. Just look at the studios that I work. Yeah, and yeah. So what advice would you, what do studios look for when hiring animators? So the simplest form, what studios look for when they're hiring animators is, by the way, you're getting like 5 questions in one go. One question at a time. Cheeky. But yeah, what studios basically just look for good animation. Like every studio looks for something a little bit different, but they all have one thing in common: good animation. And what is good animation? Good body mechanics. Because if you can show me that you can make this guy move realistically, or in a cool way that feels believable, okay, you can do some cartoony, maybe like cartoony stuff. But like if you want to go hyper detail, just look at the showreel of the studio you want to apply for or you want to go to. And that will tell you a lot, because if they do creature stuff and you want to do cartoony stuff, it's not going to work, you know? But one thing they do all have in common is good animation, regardless of what you do. So, oh, his hand goes up a bit too quick. So I'm trying to focus on this section as well. So hopefully that was helpful, Ilham. So yeah, like I said, you can find online instructors that you like, that you saw their work and you thought this was awesome. Hey, can you help me out, teach me? Like, you know, they all have their prices. They all like charge different prices. You can go to online schools and see some students that you've liked their work and their progression. And you can say, oh, hold on, this person went to this school and they've learned quite a bit. I would like to go there as well. So it depends on you really. And you can do stuff like this, which is great. Like you're learning from me, it's for free. I'm going to have like more subscription-based stuff in the future, not yet, where you guys will have like a whole detailed archive of stuff that you can pick from. What I'm doing now, like this masterclass, body mechanics, you're basically just seeing me fully animate stuff that instructors and other people that teach don't give. So if you notice on YouTube channels, they won't give you this much. Like this is a very detailed, like you're seeing me go through the whole process, which is stuff that they don't really give for free. So this is very valuable stuff in terms of you seeing me animate everything. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. And I never discourage, like you can learn from me, you can learn from the school, you can learn from the university. They all have something. And I know some really cool animators that just learn from by themselves, but I would say that's a bit of a risky one, because if you need some guidance, and you know, it's always good to have someone who knows what they're doing giving you the correct advice, because they could just say, I think there's a quicker way of doing this. I think what you're doing is fine, but you know, we could go a different route to help you. Cool, let's pull this arm back in. Because as the forearm, the biceps going back, you're gonna actually have that break. So we want to add that in there, even though we don't see it. There we go. It's happening. Like just over here, you can see it. It's that little bend. That's this bit here going back. And there, we can start to open up. Open up. Cool. Let's see what this looks like. I think I might leave it there. I don't want it to be too long for you guys. So hit the like if you just joined the chat, the stream. Yeah, that snap forward is a bit too slow. There. I think we need to just, I want to make sure this snap works. It's going very slowly. Yeah, the forearm needs to open a bit more to feel like it's kung fu-y, you know? Kung fu-y, is that a word? There. At this point, it needs to be almost straight, and maybe even get there a bit quicker, like this. Even this section. There's something that just needs to be a bit more noisy, and when I mean noisy, I just mean a bit more like noisy, like snappy. It just feels a bit too slow. There. A bit more up, a bit more straight. Hold it there for a bit. There, not too much. It just needs to feel like he's almost hitting a wall. That's what I'm talking about, the noisy thing. And then it comes back. So hopefully that punch feels much better now, the one in the background. But there we go. Click. Yeah. It's alive, guys. So like, if you do like the way I teach, do reach out to me. I do teach students. I'm going to have a showcase soon, hopefully. I have some students doing some awesome stuff. And obviously when you guys see my students, you will see what you can achieve in my private mentorship or workshops. But in the meantime, you're more than welcome to take a look at the live streams, the videos. They give you so much information. Like honestly, the amount of stuff that I'm giving, you can have like you can use those as like ways to improve yourself as an animator and your tips and like I'm giving a lot away, which is totally fine because I started doing this because I like teaching and I enjoy teaching. And yeah, if I have a student, I want their work to kick ass, like really awesome stuff. Like I want you to be awesome. I don't want you to be okay. Like, it's kind of, no. I want it to look good. That you can put on your showreel and say, oh yeah, this is going on my showreel. I like this. Because the whole point is my philosophy is, if you're learning animation, you clearly want to work in animation. So your shot should be industry level standard. And that's kind of my level and my demand. So if you just want to do some nice animation to have fun, that's super cool. But if you want to take my workshops, like my private workshops, it's got to be for getting a job. And they're designed to help you, push you to get that. So yeah, to improve and at the same time make a showreel. But you can, that's learning through me. But if you want to learn yourself, look at the studios you're applying for. What kind of stuff do they do? Okay, cool. Now look online and get some information on how to do that kind of stuff. There you go. So look, I'm not driving you just to learn from me. There's lots of stuff you can do. And like I said, with my live streams, I always ask you guys what kind of stuff do you want to learn from, so I can help you learn that kind of stuff as well. I won't be doing too many of these masterclasses because they take a very long time. Cool. All right, guys. So let's play. I think we've come to the end. So I've done the neck, head, shoulders, biceps, and forearms. I'll do a play blast, and while this play blast is running, I'll take some questions. If there's any more questions. And Ilham, no more 50 questions. All in one go. But no, thank you for the questions. It's nice. It's great to hear that. So what did you say? Thanks a lot. Very helpful. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. And just to let you guys know, join the Discord channel. So if you go into, where is it? Let me find it. Join the Discord channel because there's stuff that I'll announce before. What do you call it? Before we start. Like when I do these live streams, I will always announce stuff on Discord. So for example, let me go here. So if you go to my main channel on YouTube, I'll show you now while we're on the stream. So let me see. Okay, here we go. Cool. Oh, look who it is. It's me. So if you go into my main channel, on the links, click over here and you'll see Discord, Instagram. Instagram, I throw like little clips and stuff that you might not see here. Maybe I'll do a little sketch just to show you my thought process. And on LinkedIn is just my LinkedIn if you want it to connect. Discord is the one I would recommend join the Discord because whenever I have a live stream coming up or a animation review session, I always like ask my students or people there that want to get feedback for their shots. So what I'll do is I'll say, hey guys, 4 or 5 people, let me know who would like to get animation reviews. I'm thinking of doing a free animation review session. And I'll get it for a couple of people. Like for example, tomorrow I'm going to have an animation review live session. So 4 of those students or animators are going to get free feedback. And in return, I'm going to be able to do a live stream with their shots. So do join the Discord. You're going to find out things. We have a little community there and you're going to know things way in advance rather than waiting for the live streams. So yeah, cool. All right. So we've come to the very end. So we have our breathing done, the foot adjustments, and we've added that head, neck, ducking and diving towards the end. We've also adjusted a little bit of the chest around this section where the head is doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, like I feel like it's coming along, especially like with the arms swinging forward and away and down. So yeah, this is where we are at the moment. I will do a final pass at the very end for like small polishy stuff, but I would say this is like a spline polish. Yeah, so let me know what your thoughts are, guys. So yeah, we've got 60 frames out the way. I would say we've got like maybe 40 frames left. Let's take a look. Let's take a look how many frames we have left in total. So I'll play the whole thing. So we're breathing, duck, dodge, punch, move across. Yeah, I think it's coming along nicely. 60 frames done. We've got another 40 frames, and then we should be done. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts in the chats, in the comments. If you've liked the video, subscribe, like, share. Let me know your thoughts on the stream. And yeah, let's keep moving. And then we go on to part 9, I think it is, where I continue with the last 40 frames and see how far we get. I have a feeling we're going to be finishing up on like part 10, because 40 frames, getting 40 frames out in 1 hour might be a bit much because he's doing quite a lot over here. So I'm assuming part 9, we will cover quite a lot of this, and part 10, whatever's left I'll finish, and then I'll go through the whole thing, doing some small tweaks and final polishes. Yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. I'll take a look at the chat one last time, see if you guys have any questions, and then I think that's going to be it. Let's go here. Yep, again, please, if you want to join the Discord. You'll have information that's not going to be there, that people won't be seeing online. And yeah, that's going to be it, guys. So cool. All right, let's end it there. So hit the like on your way out. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this. I'll have more content for you guys like this coming up. And tomorrow is going to be our animation reviews live stream. So tune into that if you want to see some students or animators get some feedback on their shots. But yeah, cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the other live stream. So thank you for tuning in. See you guys.